on the whole, whose lives are shrouded in mystery, and they want to hide their secrets. And
that there are two truths. The first truth is that the conversation, I'm told and I believe.
When Tom Bower speaks, darling, both Hollywood and Kensington hold their breath. This man isn't your average biographer scribbling rumors in a notebook. Oh no, he's built an entire career out of digging where no one else dares. He's the man who peels back the glittering surface of fame to expose what's rotting underneath. And now brace yourself because he's back. And guess who's at the center of the storm this time? None other than Meghan Markle herself. Yes, Meghan, the self-proclaimed Duchess of Damage Control, the queen of curated narratives, is spiraling once again because Tom's latest revelations slice right through that glossy, picture-perfect image she's been selling to the world. And honey, when I say scandal, I don't mean a little PR hiccup. I mean scandal with a capital S. According to Bower's newest tell-all, Meghan has been caught red-handed, tangled in a messy web of contradictions, half-truths, and manipulative moves that even her most loyal defenders can't quite justify anymore.
You have extraordinary reporting in your book on what this was likely based on and how it doesn't match up to what Meghan said. Here's the clip, SOT 6, from the Oprah interview.
In those months when I was pregnant.
Insert clip from 106 to 121. Let's be honest here. Meghan's post-royal life? It's been like one never-ending episode of Keeping Up with the Sussexes, and not in a good way. Failed projects, awkward lawsuits, red carpet moments that make you cringe into your popcorn, a Netflix deal on life support, and that never-ending feud with the royal family that makes the Hatfields and McCoys look like they're playing a friendly game of charades. But Tom Bower, he's not interested in the surface-level drama. He's looking deeper, down to the rot hiding beneath the polished smiles. And according to him, Meghan's been playing a game so calculated it makes House of Cards look like bedtime TV. So what's the scandal this time? What's got Meghan reportedly pacing the halls of her Montecito mansion, clutching her phone like it's her last lifeline? Buckle up, darling, because this revelation isn't just jaw-dropping. It's the kind that even her most star-eyed fans will whisper to themselves, wait, was any of it ever real? Word is, Bower's bombshell, teased in quiet whispers before exploding across the headlines, claims Meghan's perfectly crafted outsider underdog narrative is built on a foundation shakier than anyone ever imagined. You know that story she's been telling for years, the one about the mixed-race girl from humble beginnings in Los Angeles who fought her way up to royal stardom against all odds. It's her armor, her brand, the reason she's justified every single grievance since the day she strutted out of the palace gates. But now? Oh, Tom Bower is here to say that entire fairy tale might be more Hollywood rewrite than heartfelt memoir.
I do, and I think it has divided the nation and made us all, many of us, very unhappy on either side of the argument. I just found that Harry and Meghan, having said that they were setting up in California to spread wellness and love and sincerity, have done the exact...
Because according to Tom, brace yourself again, much of that story isn't just exaggerated, it's a script, a production. And the credits? Directed, produced, and starring Meghan Markle herself. And here's the kicker, the heart of the scandal. Bower suggests Meghan has been less than truthful about her past. We're talking her early relationships, her family drama, even the way she clawed her way into Hollywood. The receipts, as he puts it, are damning. People close to Meghan's early life tell a very different story than the one she loves to share. Instead of being the scrappy girl fighting against all odds, she apparently had a leg up, access to elite circles, powerful connections, and opportunities that most struggling actresses could only dream about. That rags to riches tale she's built her empire on? More like designer rags to custom-tailored riches. Bower paints a picture of someone who knew exactly what she wanted and wasn't afraid to play the long game to get it. Every event, every dinner, every introduction, everything had a purpose. And that's where it starts to get really juicy, because what comes next? That's when things turn from merely suspicious to downright scandalous. And then comes the deal breaker. The whispers about how Meghan allegedly leveraged every connection, every friendship, every party invite as a stepping stone. Friends weren't just friends, they were strategy. Mentors weren't guides, they were means to an end. And Trevor Engelson, her first husband? Oh, Tom's sources claim that wasn't her fairy tale love story either. It was just another chapter, one she edited out the moment she decided she was destined for something or someone bigger. Now, Meghan's defenders are already clutching their pearls, shouting misogyny and sexism from the rooftops. But let's get real, Tom Bower doesn't deal in gossip, he deals in receipts. And those receipts paint a portrait of Meghan's meteoric rise as something less like grace and grit and more like cold, ruthless calculation. One insider even described her as someone who could make you feel like the center of her world until the very second you weren't. And for Harry, who's burned every bridge, torched his family ties, and gambled his identity on Meghan's version of the truth, realizing it could all have been one elaborate game? That's not just devastating, it's soul-crushing. Now let's pause for just a second because, darling, we need to talk about Tom Bower himself. This man isn't your run-of-the-mill tabloid writer sipping lattes while inventing drama for clicks. No, no, no. Tom Bower is an institution in the world of investigative biographies, a man who rattles cages from Downing Street to Beverly Hills. He's the one who digs where everyone else is too scared to look, and when he drops a bombshell, the tremors are felt everywhere. So when Bower says something, it's not a rumor. It's a revelation backed by a mountain of receipts, sources, and people who'd rather stay anonymous but can't hold their tongues any longer. Which means Meghan's camp can scream character assassination all they want, but this isn't some idle gossip column. This is evidence. Cold, sharp, painful evidence. And honey, if Meghan is truly as furious as insiders are whispering, then that reaction alone tells you all you need to know, because people don't panic over lies. They panic when the truth starts creeping too close for comfort. And oh, is that panic spreading fast. The ripple effects are already hitting the shores of public opinion, and that, darling, is the one tide Meghan can't control. After years of trying to rebuild her image following flop after flop, this scandal might be the knockout blow. Netflix, Spotify, business partners, they're all watching closely. And let's face it, Hollywood is loyal to whoever makes them money, not whoever makes the front pages for the wrong reasons. If the world starts to see Meghan not as a misunderstood duchess but as a manipulator, that's not just bad PR, that's career suicide. And here's the delicious irony of it all. Meghan, the woman who has spent her entire adult life obsessing over controlling the narrative, is now trapped inside a story she didn't write, and worse, she can't rewrite it. Tom Bower isn't playing palace politics or tiptoeing around Meghan's PR machine. He's shining the harshest spotlight right on those cracks she's spent years trying to plaster over. So what's Meghan doing about it? Word from the Montecito grapevine is that she's losing it. Picture this: Meghan pacing through her palatial living room, phone in one hand, fury in the other, barking orders at staff, firing off calls to lawyers, and maybe, just maybe, throwing a few designer items across the room. She's reportedly in full-blown crisis mode, desperate to shut Tom Bower down. But here's the kicker: you can't silence Tom Bower. The man thrives on resistance. The harder you push back, the louder he gets. Meghan's fury is practically feeding his fire. And that, my dear gossip lovers, is the scandal within the scandal. The master of spin is finally spinning out of control, because if the first wave of Bower's revelations caused a tremor through Montecito, the second one has triggered a full-blown earthquake. And now, the whispers aren't just about what Meghan did, they're about the fallout. Reports are swirling that Harry, poor Harry, is emotionally shattered. Imagine it, the man who gave up his royal titles, his military honors, and his sense of purpose, all for love, now facing the terrifying thought that maybe, just maybe, he was a pawn in Meghan's grand game of chess. And we're not talking about a man who hides his emotions behind a stiff upper lip. Harry wears his heart right there on his sleeve. When Meghan cries, he charges into battle. But when Meghan's entire backstory starts unraveling under the bright glare of truth, oh, Harry doesn't know where to run. Every bridge back to his old life has been burned, and he's left standing in the ashes, clutching what's left of his pride. And that's where the tragedy sets in. Because Meghan, oh, she'll survive. She always lands on her feet. Scorched image or not, she'll cry on cue, give an emotional interview, launch a new women's empowerment initiative, and pose for some beautifully lit charity photo ops. That's her brand. Reinvention is her art form. But Harry, he's not built for this. He doesn't have her polished PR instincts or Hollywood resilience. He's fragile, confused, and caught in the crossfire of a narrative he doesn't even understand anymore. Meanwhile, over in London, the royals are watching all of this unfold with what I can only describe as a cocktail of relief and vindication. You can just picture King Charles with a glass of scotch, Queen Camilla arching an eyebrow, and William, ever the stoic, finally exhaling after years of tension. Because let's face it, for the first time in years, the royal family isn't the villain of the story. Meghan's implosion is their silent vindication. Tom Bower's revelations aren't just bruising Meghan's ego, they're rewriting the entire post-royal narrative. Every accusation Meghan has hurled at the firm, from racism to neglect to cruelty, is suddenly under the microscope. And if her credibility crumbles under the weight of Bower's receipts, then, oh darling, those accusations start to look less like cries for justice and more like weapons of revenge. And Harry? Poor Harry becomes the man who gave up everything, his duty, his family, his legacy, for an illusion. But let's shift gears because, honey, Hollywood is a ruthless place. People forget you the minute you stop being profitable. And right now, Meghan's name isn't exactly synonymous with box office gold. Studios, producers, and investors, these people have instincts sharper than paparazzi lenses. They can smell PR poison a mile away. And Meghan, once a headline darling, is starting to look more like a liability than an asset. Let's look at the track record, shall we? Netflix quietly axing projects, Spotify flat out slamming the door shut, Archwell staff leaving faster than a reality show cast after a bad finale, her Montecito empire, the lifestyle brand, the rebranded Duchess persona, the endless attempts to become America's Princess Diana, all of it is wobbling. Tom Bower's revelations didn't just crack her image, they sliced it right down the middle. Because really, who wants to buy overpriced jam or candles from someone whose reputation is melting faster than wax? Her carefully curated empire could soon become a meme, a punchline. Oh, have you tried Meghan's new jam? It's 90% sugar, 10% spin. And while Meghan's busy trying to put out fires, Harry's humiliation grows by the day. Imagine walking into a charity gala, expecting polite applause, and instead feeling the weight of whispers follow you across the room. Was your wife's story fake? Did she manipulate you? For a man already haunted by public judgment, this is his worst nightmare. And all of it, every moment of it, is because Meghan can't control Tom Bower's pen. And now comes the pièce de résistance, Meghan's reported meltdown. Oh, you've never seen drama like this. Sources say she's gone full control freak mode, snapping at staff, demanding legal action, trying to draft statements that set the record straight. But sweetie, lawsuits won't save her, because if she sues, she opens Pandora's box. Discovery, cross-examination, real receipts, and if there's one thing Meghan hates more than bad press, it's losing control of her own story. And Tom Bower, he'd love nothing more than that. It's almost poetic, really. The woman who built her career on my truth is now suffocating under the weight of the truth. And the more she fights, the more obvious the cracks become. Meanwhile, across the Atlantic, the royal family, those stoic Windsors, are doing just fine. William's steadier than ever, Kate's glowing and adored, and King Charles, he's looking like a symbol of calm stability next to the chaos in California. And Harry, well, he's adrift, watching the empire he helped build for Meghan crumble, realizing he's got no home left to return to and no allies who'll take his calls. And Meghan knows it. That's what stings the most, because if Tom Bower's story sticks, and let's be real, it's already sticking, Meghan doesn't just lose her reputation, she loses her grip on Harry, the man who made her royalty in the first place. And for a woman whose power has always come from controlling her prince, that's not just painful, it's terrifying.